Welcome to our channel. The regime created a world as off-kilter as its dictator. Rulers cannot, as the old anecdote goes, physically roll back the tide on command, but the regime would not be the first piece of art or history to show that with enough money, guns, sycophants, and social media, dictators can create a manufactured reality where it sure seems like they can. The HBO limited series explores what it's like to live in the reality of Elena Vernham, Kate Winslet, chancellor and de facto dictator of an unnamed country vaguely located near the Danube. What it's like is kind of a nightmare. Elena's palace is as imposing and grand as it is nonsensically tailored to her whims, and the people whose security, power, and lives depend on pleasing her can never quite anticipate what she wants next. That unpredictability is baked into every technical aspect of the regime, from the way that odd instruments like pan flutes and didgeridoos tip the music off balance to the way that the camera's canted angles still can't catch the cavernous edges of the palace and make them comprehensible, to the way that costume designer Consolata Boyle keeps changing up Elena's wardrobe, so the image she presents is never what the people waiting for her expect. One thing that was important to us all the time is that you never know what to expect with her, Boyle told IndieWire. When you think you know her in these militarized suits, always very high fashion, then suddenly she appears a little bit more girly. Then again, she's in a more peasant look, and then again, some absolutely extraordinary evening gown. So all the times she's changing, she's playing to the camera. In the videos below, watch how Boyle, production designer Cav Quinn, and composers Alexandre Desplat and Alex Heffs all worked in concert to keep the viewer guessing about Elena's intentions over the course of the regime in a way that's patently absurd and just a little bit frightening. We spend the bulk of our time in the regime in Elena's palace, which reflects its owner in that it's never just any one style. The main staterooms are vast and grand, the cabinet offices almost comically wood-paneled for serious business, and Elena's personal apartments a mix of every kind of rich, Instagrammable chic design. Production designer Cav Quinn wanted moving through the rooms to be a little nonsensical and very bewildering, and she didn't have to look far to find inspiration. When Elena has a meeting with Judith Holt, Martha Plimpton, she's sitting at one end of a massively long table, which Putin employs to make whoever he's talking to feel that they're being looked down upon. Quinn told IndieWire. The scale was the thing I think that made people feel awkward. Trying to push out the scale as much as I could and just getting all the architectural details right was the critical thing. Scale works for Elena, but also works against her. Quinn specifically designed a few spaces where Elena wouldn't have the props and pomp that make her feel powerful. A standard example is the in-palace mausoleum where her father lies in state. The room has a slightly different, less European design language to it, like a stripped-back Egyptian tomb. When Elena feels she's stripped back is, not coincidentally, when she makes her most fateful decisions. In the video above, watch how Quinn terrorized the denizens of Elena's place with the sheer scale of how the dictator uses space to assert her own power